Hello! Today's video is all about multiples. So we look at the word multiples, it sounds like multiply, multiplication, and that's kind of the trend that we're going to see. So what are multiples? Multiples of numbers result from multiplying that number by another whole number. So 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So the multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, so on. So let's list the first 5. So we have 1 times 3, 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 3 is 12, 5 times 3 is 15, and we can keep going for infinity. Okay, we could list as many as we need to or want to. So 3 is 1 times 3. So let's pause now, and I want you to list the first 5 multiples of the following. Okay, so hopefully you got these ones. So 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. So like in the other one, if I go back here, 3 is always counted. The number is also always counted because it's 1 times 6. So we go 1 times 6 is 6. So we make sure we include that. 15 is 15, 30, 45, 60, and 75. 2 is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 50 is 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. 1,000 is 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. So we can see here, this is 5 times 1,000 to give us this answer. And 80 is 80, 160, 240, 320, 400. Now, multiples are easy. The next thing we do is a little bit more challenging, but still really easy. So the lowest common multiple of 2 or more numbers is the lowest number that is a multiple of both. So we'll do some examples. Make sure you've written the definitions down, please. So find the lowest common multiple of 2 and 4. So our first step is to find the multiples of 2. So we're going to write out, I think it's about 8 multiples I started with, okay? So 2, or maybe I went 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. And then the multiples of 3, which are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30. Now, write this somewhere, but you're going to circle the numbers that occur in both. So make sure you write down that little, what would I call that? Instruction, so that you remember when you look in your rules book how to do this. So 6 is in both, 12 is in both, and 18 is in both. Now we're looking for the lowest one there. So the lowest here is 6, so the lowest common multiple of 2 and 3 is 6. Let's do some examples. Oops, I've given you a hint there by mistake. I want you to pause this and find the lowest common multiple of 5 and 6 and 12 and 15. Okay, so 5 and 6 first. Multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So I'm going to put down 8 there. Multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, and 48. So 8 there as well. Let's circle the common multiples here. So we have 30, and in 8 numbers that we've written out, 30 is the only common multiple, and it of course is our lowest. So the lowest common multiple, so the LCM, equals 30. So let's do 12 and 15. The multiples of 12. 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, and 96. And the multiples of 15 are 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105, and 120. So again, we circle our common multiples, and the only one here is 60. So our lowest common multiple equals 60. One more example, but we're going to do this one together. So let's find the lowest common multiple of 8 and 13. So the multiples of 8 are 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, and 64. And the multiples of 13 are 13, 26, 39, 52, 65, 78, 91, and 104. Now, if we were to go and look for the common multiples here, you might notice that there's no common multiples in these 8 numbers that we've written out so far. So we're going to continue writing out the multiples of each until we find a common multiple. So let's start with continuing with 8. And if I go 72, 80, 88, 96, and 104, I can see here that 104 is common in both. So I don't need to write any more multiples of 13 because we know that right there the common multiple is 104. Oops, so I didn't write it at the bottom, but the LCM, let's write this out. The LCM, this is very hard, equals 104. Okay, so making sure that we write that at the end of our question so that we are clearly identifying the lowest common multiple. You can't just simply go 104 and circle it. You need to write LCM equals and whatever it equals. Okay, so time to do some questions. And again, if you have any questions, make sure you ask me.